And I will help keep time in the chat.
Great, thank you.
We're live.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 6th, virtual public hearing of the Virginia Redistricting Commission. The focus of today's public hearing is the central region of the Commonwealth. We are looking forward to hearing from you all about this area you call home. I am Sean Kumar, a citizen commissioner from the city of Alexandria. I'll be acting as the presiding commissioner at this hearing. I'm going to ask my fellow commissioners to introduce themselves. Go around to Delegate Simon.
Hello, Delegate Marcus Simon, representing the 53rd House of Delegates District, which is in Fairfax County and includes the city of Falls Church and parts of eastern Fairfax County. Look forward to hearing everyone's testimony.
Thank you. Now to Senator Locke.
I am Senator Mamie Locke, representing the 2nd Senate District in the Hampton Roads area, and I live in the city of Hampton, and welcome everyone.
Delegate Adams.
Hi, this is Les Adams. I represent the 16th House District. It's Martinsville City, parts of Henry County, and much of Pittsylvania County.
Senator Stanley.
Good afternoon, everyone, members of the commission, and also those members of the public who have gotten a chance to get on this public comment today. My name is Bill Stanley. I'm the senator for the 20th Senate District, which starts in the west in the city of Galax, half of Carroll County, all of Patrick County, all of Henry County, a third of Franklin County, the city of Martinsville, the city of Danville, and half of Pittsylvania County and half of Halifax County. And that should give you an indication why your comments are so important today, so that we don't have any districts that look like that in the future.
Delegate McQuinn.
Good afternoon. My name is Dolores McQuinn, representing the 70th House District, and that includes Northern Chesterfield, eastern part of the city of Richmond, eastern Henrico, and all of Charles City, and looking forward to hearing the testimonies and the opinions today. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Abranio.
Hi, I'm James Abranio. I'm a citizen commissioner from Fairfax, Virginia. Thanks for everybody joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And let's see. Delegate Ransom.
Thank you, Delegate Ranson. I represent the 99th district that makes up King George County, Lancaster County, Richmond County, Westmoreland County, Northumberland County, and a portion of Caroline County, also known as the Northern Neck. So looking forward to hearing the public comments today. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm not seeing anyone else. Well, let me see, I've got another screen of people now. If to our staff, if I'm missing any other members of the commission, please let me know. I'm sure some will join as they become available, but we will continue on. So a couple of housekeeping matters before we begin. This hearing and all subsequent hearings are being translated simultaneously in Spanish. If you would like to watch the hearing in Spanish, please send an email to varedistricting2021@gmail.com. That is VAREDISTRICTING 2021@gmail.com to receive a link to be admitted to the Spanish translation Zoom meeting. This is for viewing and listening only, not for providing comment. I believe we have some additional instruction here from staff.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Mindy Carlin. For those who are on the Zoom link, who have the Zoom links, you can select the interpretation globe at the bottom of your screen, and that will allow you to select Spanish, and you'll hear everything that's being said in Spanish if you make that selection. So thank you.
Just one note, because I know we're moving at such pace. In the future, as we do these, we might want to translate that in Spanish at this point in our beginning for those who are online and don't know how to do it. So I don't, if we do have at some point the ability for somebody coming on to do that, in case we have anybody online, that might be helpful, and to add that for our future. We're running out.
Yes, sir.
So I'll be calling off names from the sign-up sheet, so please forgive me in advance if I mispronounce your name. When you're called, we ask that you first identify yourself and tell us where you live. If you're speaking as part of a group or on behalf of a group, please identify the group as well. Please also state the specific map you're commenting on. The most recent House of Delegates maps are A7 and B6. The most recent Senate maps are A5 and B4. Given the number of people we have signed up to speak, we're setting each person's speaking time to no more than 3 minutes. We will be keeping track of the time and we'll give you a 30-second warning. If a previous speaker has already stated what you'd like to say, we encourage you to simply state your name and where you live, and that you echo the comments made by whomever you wish to echo. The purpose of this series of public hearings is to hear from you all about our proposed maps. This is your time, and we are here in listening mode. This time is for us to hear from you, to learn from you. So we will not be taking questions or engaging in any discussion or debate tonight. We are most interested in the factors you want the commission to consider when reviewing the proposed districts and your thoughts about your community and how you would or wouldn't define it. But all comments shared here today will be heard and considered when we finalize our maps. So we will begin with our first registered speakers. Going down the list I was sent, do we have Kay Slaughter on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line. Good evening. I'm Kay Slaughter. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm a former city council member and a former mayor. I'm asking that you not gerrymander Albemarle County. I'm speaking on the House of Delegates maps. The Republican plan divides it into 3 districts. The Democratic plan makes it 1 district, which crosses the Blue Ridge to Augusta County. And while Augusta and Albemarle may share these beautiful mountains, they are not a community of interest. Neither does Albemarle share interests with the Lynchburg area, an hour to the south. To get additional population to complete any Albemarle district, please add areas from Nelson, Fluvanna, or Greene, all counties adjacent to Albemarle and part of Planning District 10. They have worked together on common issues. People in these counties and Charlottesville commute between them for work, family, medical care, cultural activities, and shopping. Likewise, Augusta over the Blue Ridge is connected to communities in the valley, and Lynchburg to areas of Amherst, Campbell, and Bedford. Please stick to your original guiding principles and do not gerrymander. In closing, I'd like to note the death of Lee Middleditch, an important civic leader here who long supported and promoted nonpartisan redistricting among his many duties and accomplishments. I know Lee would urge you to apply non-gerrymandering to his beloved Albemarle County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Peter Griffin.
Not here, sir.
Thank you. David Redding.
Not here, sir.
Thanks, Sharon. Sion Yates.
Not here, sir.
Megan Rickman Blackwood.
Hello, good afternoon. So I'm speaking primarily to the maps A7 and A5. My name is Megan Rickman Blackwood. I am neutral for today. I am a senior at Virginia Commonwealth University, and I was born in Richmond and proud to call it home. I'm also participating in the Redistricting Fellowship with Campus Vote Project, an organization that is empowering college students to have a voice in their state's redistricting process. On behalf of the students at Virginia Commonwealth University, we do need representatives who will listen to our voices and look to understand our needs. My campus and the Richmond community are incredibly diverse, mirroring other communities throughout our melting pot state. Nestled in the heart of Richmond, our community represents all ethnicities and faith. In the spirit of the settlers who arrived down the road in Jamestown, people have come to our campus seeking better lives for ourselves, our families, the freedom of opportunity that comes with a good education, and a chance to pursue our happiness. However, here at VCU, students are confused about who is representing them at multiple levels of government. This is because our campus and the community around it are divided among districts. Students that are looking for off-campus housing, a challenge in the densely populated capital of our state, find themselves stratified through multiple House and Senate districts. Affordable housing located further away from campus often separates students from their peers, stratifying the power of an increasingly engaged and powerful voting bloc, and also threatening to dilute the vote of other communities of interest that they buttress. Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond needs to be considered as a community of interest when redrawing our district lines. We are entrusting you with the responsibility of ensuring every part of our campus is represented by the same elected officials in order to avoid confusion among young voters. Because our campus is so diverse in its people and ideals, I believe that this is a nonpartisan matter that everyone benefits from considering our campus as a community of interest, regardless of political identity. As students, we also contribute much to the vibrant community of Richmond. We contribute to local businesses around campus and town. We live, work, and study here. I urge you all to remember that college and university students you consider today are statistically the most likely population to engage in future elections. You have the unique opportunity to better their experience with democracy and help our university nurture lifelong voters. I thank you all for your time today and your service to the Commonwealth, and thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Blackwood. Move now to Erin Corbett. I understand she may be yielding her time to someone else. Do we have Erin Corbett?
Not here, sir.
Is there someone who Ms. Corbett yielded her time to? All right, we will move now to Ken Chasen.
All right, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Ken Chasen. I have been affiliated with One Virginia 2021. I reside in Albemarle County, which is located in Virginia's 5th U.S. Congressional District. I am requesting that the election map for Virginia's 5th U.S. Congressional District be redrawn because the district has been severely gerrymandered and has resulted in the following situation. Firstly, the district is Virginia's largest U.S. congressional district with an area of 10,000 plus square miles and is larger in area than 6 U.S. states, Vermont, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, and New Hampshire. Secondly, the 5th district contains counties located in the Piedmont and Blue Ridge region, stretching vertically across the state from the Virginia-North Carolina border, going up 250 miles into Northern Virginia, 40 miles southwest of Washington, D.C. Thirdly, as of 2019, the population in the district was approximately 736,000 residents, which equates to just 72 residents per square mile. And fourthly, the district is approximately 2/3 rural and 1/3 urban, which tilts the playing field in favor of Republicans, as rural voters almost invariably vote Republican. In conclusion, the Virginia 5th Congressional District must and needs to be redrawn to reduce its square miles and result in a more equitable voter distribution among rural and urban voters. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chasen. We'll take that into consideration when we get to congressional districts. Nicole Sanders.
It's very warm now, but I did it without being nervous. I figured out how to unmute myself finally. A lot of people sign up and then they don't.
Do we, can we mute Mr. Chason, and do we have Nicole Sanders? Thank you. If we don't have Nicole,
Not here, sir.
thank you, Shay. Michael Rodemeyer?
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Rodemeyer. I live in Albemarle County, a few miles outside of Charlottesville. I've worked with One Virginia 2021 locally before, but I'm not speaking on their behalf at this point. Currently, I'm in House District 58, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the House District maps, both the Democratic and the Republican map. Right now, the District 58 that I'm in is one of four House of Delegate districts that split up Albemarle County. My plea to you is pretty simple. Keep Albemarle County together. We're not only a political jurisdiction, but a community. Charlottesville and the University of Virginia are the major economic engines of this region. Route 29 is the major commercial center of Albemarle County, starting in the city of Charlottesville and extending to Greene County. Everybody in Albemarle shops on 29. Everybody goes to the UVA hospital. Everybody lives and dies depending on the status and the fate of the UVA football teams and basketball teams. This is a community. Even the most rural areas of Albemarle have far more connections to Charlottesville than to their rural neighboring communities. Albemarle has shown strong population growth in the last 10 years, is becoming less rural and more suburban. And areas like Crozet, a designated growth area, have actually become new population centers in their own right in a previously rural area. I know that dozens of Albemarle residents have filed comments previously on the maps, asking that Albemarle County be left together. We've asked you not to divide Albemarle County again, as the Republican map would do. Taken together, Albemarle County and Charlottesville almost make up enough population for two House of Delegate districts. We only need about another 12 to 13,000 people for there to be a complete district here. The Democratic map drawer keeps Albemarle together, but it looks to get those additional people by going to Augusta County across the mountain. I agree with what Kay Slaughter had said earlier, that community has much less in common with us than the northern areas of Nelson County, the parts of Fluvanna County that are contiguous to the county, by connections to area or Greene County in the north because of connections through Route 29, Route 20, and Interstate 64. I'd also like to just conclude by thanking particularly the citizen commissioners for the incredible amount of time that they have spent on this project. It's a difficult and potentially thankless one, but I urge you to do the job that the voters of Virginia sent you to do, which is to protect and preserve fair districts for voters, not for the politicians. You know, you have more power than you think. The General Assembly doesn't want to throw this to the Supreme Court either. So do the right thing, and I encourage you to help protect voting districts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodemeyer. Next, we have Michelle Kellerman.
Sorry, I was not prepared to speak today. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Ms. Kellerman. Julia Torres Barden.
Not here, sir.
Shelby Thompson.
Not here, sir.
Lisa Maruka.
Not here, sir.
Leslie Middleton.
Not here, sir.
Sally Telford.
Would you repeat the name, sir?
Sally Telford. Telford,
Not here, sir.
Ellie Tucker, I see her online.
I'm here. Hello, Commissioners. My name is Ellie Tucker. I have lived in Albemarle County for 45 years and speak for myself today. First, thank you all for the work that you've put into redistricting in Virginia and for taking comment this week. When people ask me where I live, what do I say? Albemarle? No, I say Charlottesville. Albemarle and Charlottesville share food, culture, tourism, water, and other resources. When I go to Saturday market, I don't say, I am going into Charlottesville. I say, I am going to Saturday market, which we share. When I go to the downtown mall, I don't say, I'm going to Charlottesville. Same with music events. We are one community. I commend the map drawers for their efforts thus far, but now request that both sides prioritize working together to produce one set of maps so that the public can more clearly discern differences and similarities. In creating the one set of maps, please keep Charlottesville and Albemarle as a community of interest. As example of how we are not being seen as such, under the A7 statewide map for the House of Delegates, Albemarle County is split into 3 legislative districts. Northern Albemarle would be in the 74th district, along with all of Greene and some of Orange County. Charlottesville would be in the 75th district, along with much of Ivy and Albemarle County. Southern Albemarle would be in the 76th district, along with all of Amherst and Nelson counties. Please don't split Albemarle into thirds. The other side's B6 statewide map for the House of Delegates, Albemarle is better. It is in 2 districts rather than 3. Charlottesville would be in the 80th district with central eastern Albemarle. All the rest of Albemarle County would be in the 81st district, along with a portion of eastern Augusta County. Please keep Charlottesville, Albemarle intact as much as possible. Under the A5 statewide map for the Senate, Albemarle and Charlottesville would be within the 31st district, along with Nelson, Fluvanna, and Buckingham counties. The other side's B4 statewide map is similar, but the 31st district would include Greene rather than Nelson. Our planning district 10 works well and would include Albemarle, Fluvanna, Nelson, Louisa, and Greene. As for Congressional District 5, going from North Carolina to the suburbs of DC, the old maps could be a textbook example of gerrymandering. Please make the new maps more compact. In the future, it would be tremendously helpful to have more primary data curated and released so that we can truly understand the effect of the maps that we have used in the past and those that we consider now. Likewise, we would benefit from getting more robust election information, such as early and absentee voting data. Commissioners, thank you for your time, your hard work, and especially bipartisan compromise, and for taking our comments. Together, we can show the country that Virginia can shine in its ability to produce excellent bipartisan maps and districts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Next, we have Jacqueline Kidd.
Not prepared to speak.
Hello. Did you have a statement?
No, I'm delighted to be asked to be a panelist. I'm in a listening mode right now.
You just want to listen? Okay, no problem. Thanks for attending. Leslie Middleton, I called, I think earlier. Did we have Leslie Middleton or did we? They're on the list twice. All right, we'll move to Virginia Smith.
Not here, sir.
Thank you. Tim Hickey.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Mr. Kumar?
I can, thank you.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Tim Hickey. I'm a resident of Southern Albemarle County, and I was a 2019 candidate for the House of Delegates in the 59th District, which is one of the gerrymandered districts Mr. Rodemeyer described. I'm here as an individual speaking about the House maps. For 10 years, the people of Albemarle County have been subjected to an insidious partisan gerrymander. Our community has been sliced and diced into 4 House districts. The people of Albemarle, many of whom are commenting here, deserve better. We can achieve a fairer treatment of Albemarle County through compromise. I would first direct you to map B6. Map B6 keeps Albemarle County as unified as possible by keeping us into 2 districts, not 3, not 4, 2, and that has to be a non-negotiable. 1 district has to be Charlottesville and the surrounding area. That's fine. But the 2nd district needs to keep Albemarle County whole and then include a portion of another area. Now, I have heard it said that the mountains separating Augusta and Albemarle are problematic. Okay, so let's look to map A7 for a compromise. Map A7 pairs Albemarle County with Nelson, and that is a sensible pairing. That Nelson County has roughly the same population as that portion of Augusta. Nelson and Albemarle are in the same planning, DEQ, and health districts, as well as the same region on the Virginia Redistricting Commission website. So that's good. But I urge the commissioners to reject several other aspects of the A7 map. First, it slices a line right through the heart of our community again. This line divides families, friends, neighborhoods, and communities. And why? So that it can draw in Amherst. Amherst is not a part of any of the districts that I mentioned. Amherst is a part of the Lynchburg community. I have heard it said that a road, Route 29, which runs through this proposed HD 76, somehow could justify the existence of this district. It does not. I have spent a lot of time on that stretch of road. People in Amherst largely use it to go back and forth to Lynchburg. People in Nelson largely use it to go back and forth to Charlottesville. When I was campaigning, people south of Nelson County, the voters, would routinely ask me if I was in the right place. They would say, we're not in the same district as people in Southern Albemarle. And so the gerrymandering caused confusion among voters. In the northern part of the district, it diluted the vote of people in Albemarle County. Commissioners, Albemarle County votes roughly 70% Democratic. So why is it that we have 4 House delegates, 3 of whom are Republican? Because for 10 years, partisan actors have decided to carve us up. My proposed compromise maintains compact districts, maintains community of interests, addresses the concerns raised by the commissioners, and respects the people of Albemarle County and respects our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hickey, for your very specific comments. Next, we have Don Hess up here. Not seeing Don Hess.
Not here, sir.
Patricia Cochran.
Good afternoon, commissioners, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Pat Cochran. I live in Albemarle County, and I am speaking also on behalf of the League of Women Voters in the greater Charlottesville area. And we've been watching this issue of gerrymandering for a long time, and we're very excited that you are here working so hard to redress the whole idea of drawing district lines. Thank you. In the interest of time, I would like to echo Michael Rodemeyer and Kay Slaughter, former mayor of the city of Charlottesville, in that we very much prefer to have Albemarle and Charlottesville kept together as one unit. Please don't divide Albemarle into many districts. It deserves to be one district only. Thank you very much. Keep Albemarle and Charlottesville together as a community. And I thank you for your time. Take care.
Thank you for your comments and for your time. Next, we will go to Bob West.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for having me today. My name is Bob West. I'm moved here to retire from Florida, where I was the chief of policy chief for the redistricting committee of the Florida legislature. And I was also the previous redistricting. I was part of that. I also was involved in the court cases and preparing information for pre-clearance from the Department of Justice. I've done an extensive analysis of all the maps. I'll start out with the Senate map. I've sent these statistics to you, but in comparing all of the Senate maps, my map, which is 137 Bob Senate, is one of the lowest on the deviation. It is the most competitive at 10 for the competitive Democratic seats and 11 as a competitive Republican. The difference there is the independents. It has 5 black majority minority seats, and the compactness are among the lowest of all the maps. I believe that this is a superior map and is defensible in court, much better than the maps that are being presented by the staff. Then I also presented another map for the House seats, which is House map 162, Bob statewide HOD. That map also is superior to what the other maps, all the other maps that were analyzed, all in that have been presented so far. In that it has Democratic competitive seats. It has 26 competitive seats for Democrats. For Republicans, it has 29 competitive seats. This is by far the highest of all the maps that have been presented. It has 11 majority minority black seats, which is tied with all the highest of all the maps that have been presented. It is also one of the lower compactness rates of all the maps that have been presented. In your guidelines, you said that you wanted maps that shall not favor or disfavor any political party. To me, that means you need as many competitive seats as possible. Competitive is within 5% plus or minus. And the 2 maps I have are the most competitive maps that have been presented. Now I'd like to go and just go through. I live in Norfolk, but I can also go to the central area of Virginia. I drew a map number 45 on my thing that takes in from Willoughby Spit to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge is a competitive seat where we have not had a competitive seat.
Excuse me, Mr. West, I believe your time is up.
Okay. Please look at the statistics I have sent you.
Yeah, thank you for your work and for your comments today. And we do have what you submitted. Thank you. All right, next I'm going to move us to, my apologies, we have a lot of repetitive names on this. Did I call Betsy Cochran already? No, I had a Patricia Cochran, but I don't think I called Betsy Cochran. We have Betsy.
Not here, sir.
Thank you. Christine Jacobs.
Not here, sir.
Kellen Squire.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Kellen Squire. I'm an emergency department nurse here in Albemarle County, Virginia, and a former candidate for the Virginia House of Delegates in the 58th District back in 2017. And, I'd just like to come on today and make a comment that I don't think that y'all need to be afraid to take some of these maps back to the drawing board if you have to. I think there's been a lot of incumbent protection in the maps, a lot of partisan gerrymandering, and I think it's not what people that voted for the commission intended. If I remember correctly, I think one of the map drawers even had his maps thrown out in federal court before. I don't think that the federal judge said that the gentleman was lying, but I think he said his claims were not credible. And I just don't want to, why would we want to embarrass the Commonwealth of Virginia like that again? Let's take it back and do it the right way. I think we got time to do it right. Send something to the General Assembly that is amenable to everybody and really can show the rest of the country what the Commonwealth of Virginia can do. As about Albemarle County in particular, I'd like to echo what many of the past panelists like Kay Slaughter and Michael Rodemeyer and Tim Hickey and Ellie Tucker have said. I can tell you in the emergency department, as we've been dealing with the COVID surge, the people that I'm seeing in my emergency department are from Charlottesville City, Albemarle County, Fluvanna, Greene County, Nelson, in that order pretty much as far as the people that are coming in as part of the Thomas Jefferson Health District. It is definitely a community of interest, and the more we split it, the more it's pretty obviously gerrymandered. So that's the comments I have today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and your comments. Next, we have Sue Lewis.
Okay, I need to unmute myself. I wasn't sure if I got unmuted naturally. And I'm Sue Lewis. I'm a resident of the city of Charlottesville. And many of my concerns have been stated by other people, but what I wanted to do was tell you what my personal criteria have been in looking at all of these maps. Respecting geographic boundaries, which pretty much eliminates a piece of the B6 map of the House District 81 going across the mountains. Communities of interest, which are taken care of fairly well in many of these maps. Least number of overlapping districts. Creates voter confusion, adds work to election offices, and it's not something that many people are concerned about, but as a longtime League of Women Voters person, I am very interested in not confusing the voter. And compactness is my other criteria. So speaking to any of the maps, the District 81 on the B map, if you can just get rid of crossing the Blue Ridge, I would be a happy camper. And for District 80, I think if we could keep District 80 pretty much as it is, Charlotte's is intact, spreading to the east of Fluvanna is a reasonable thing. I looked at A7, creating District 75, except for not crossing the Blue Ridge. It's kind of interesting. It adds northern and western parts of Albemarle County to the city of Charlottesville, which is definitely part of our community of interest. House District 76 is way too disruptive to the voters. On the Senate side, I'm in favor of B4, keeps a lot of Albemarle together, spread south into Buckingham, which I'm not really sure about. If there's a way to eliminate Buckingham, which is not a true community of interest to Albemarle, Fluvanna, et cetera, that would be nice. But both of them have way too many overlapping districts from my perspective. And that is one of my, like I said, that's one of my criteria. So I'm looking at them in that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Next, we have Monica Hutchinson, fifth on the line.
Not here, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to Brittany Rose.
I'm here. Thank you.
My portion of Henrico County is currently a part of HD 56 with Louisa County and parts of Goochland and Spotsylvania counties. This area of Henrico is fully suburban and continues to experience significant growth and development. To be in a district with largely rural counties as we are now doesn't make sense. And our proposed inclusion in District 56 as drawn in the B6 maps doesn't make any more sense. In fact, this map drawer has bundled Henrico with even more rural counties than their last 5 proposals. We would be included in a district with portions of Goochland, Hanover, and Caroline counties, all of which are largely rural. Further, the population in this area of Henrico is made up of 22% Asian residents, and the current District 56 population is only 11% Asian. The B6 map carves out this area of Henrico and reduces the percentage of Asian residents in HD 56 even further to under 8%. Even the adjacent district proposed on this map, HD 65, would only have an Asian population of 18.8%. By putting this particular part of Henrico with Goochland, Hanover, and Caroline counties in the proposed HD 56, you're carving out a small section of a highly suburban community and lumping it in with dissimilar rural communities while simultaneously splitting the Asian population of Western Henrico. In contrast, the proposed district as drawn in the A7 plan, in this case, we would be in District 70, it keeps my community in a district and entirely composed of Henrico residents, with 23% of those residents being Asian. This proposed district much better represents my community in all measures set forth for and by the commission. Regarding the Senate maps, I currently live in the 12th district, which is comprised of Western Henrico and Western Hanover counties. And with small tweaks, some small changes, this district would remain largely intact under the map B4 as District 30. And B4 District 30 looks pretty similar to, and may actually be exactly the same as the District 30 that was presented in the combined Senate maps C2. For reasons that I don't understand, the new A5 maps would change the district, still as District 30, to encompass part of Western Henrico County, along with Goochland and Powhatan counties, which are both rural. Why is the western portion of Henrico County being split into 3 separate Senate districts, and the area in which I live being put into a district with dissimilar and largely rural counties? Those changes don't make sense. Thank you to the Commission for your work and for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for your specific comments. Krista Rosa,
Not here, sir.
Edgar Lara,
Hello, I'm here. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time and the work that you're doing, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about my community. So my name is Edgar Lara, and I'm very involved in my community through a nonprofit named Sin Barreras, or Without Barriers, as well as multiple coalitions. My mom, stepdad, siblings moved to Waynesboro over 20 years ago, and I had been visiting ever since until I moved to Albemarle County about 9 years ago. And I've lived 2 miles south of Interstate 64 off of exit 120 on 5th Street Extension all that time. Because of the work that I do and that my community is primarily one of immigrants or children of immigrants, with the majority of us speaking Spanish as our first language and working the same types of jobs, we have a similar culture and experience many of the same challenges in our communities of Virginia. This describes a fast-growing community in Virginia, especially in the central and valley regions, which I'm very familiar with. I consider I want to see a more compact congressional district. And for me, that could include a lot of the community, my community, that I know well in the regions of Albemarle County, over to Stewart's Draft and Stanton, then going north to include Harrisonburg, over to Culpeper, then further north to include Newmarket, Front Royal, and all the way up to Winchester. Those are communities. The community that I described is in that region, and we could have a congressional district that fits it all. And for the Senate district, I'm still focusing on the same area. And I think the statewide map the commission submitted, A5, I think that makes sense to me for the regions that I'm talking about and the community that I know and represent. And for my House of Delegates district, the same region, which I know well, I support what was submitted by the Virginia Counts Coalition. It makes a lot of sense for all the areas that I described, and incorporates a lot of what I know about my community in those areas. And I don't disagree with a lot of the comments that have been made by other people as far as making districts compact, but yes, and that's true throughout. I just want to draw attention to other communities that aren't often represented, and that is exactly who I'm talking about when I talk about my community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Lara. Edward Strickler.
Not here, sir, but Chris DeRosa's here.
Okay, we'll hear from Chris DeRosa.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, thank you.
Okay, thanks. I couldn't see any button. I just wanted to let you know that I am pleased to see some of the university campuses united within single House delegate districts on many of the maps. Christopher Newport University in one case, and Newport News, is currently divided into 2 House districts. My daughters attended college there, so that would have required them, when they moved to the other part of campus, across Route 60, they would have had to switch to a different delegate and change their voting registration. So it's so much better that that campus is united. You've done the same with several of the maps for University of Mary Washington, Fredericksburg, and hopefully VCU, as one of the earlier speakers mentioned, is also combined into one district. This allows people, the students, the staff, to speak as one voice. So as you go forward to finalize maps to present to the General Assembly, I hope that you will look at all the different college campuses in Virginia and make sure that they and their surrounding community is kept together in one district. Thanks very much for your work.
Thank you, Chris. Next, James Isaacs.
Not here, sir.
Thomas Jordan Miles.
Hi, my name is Jordan Miles. I want to thank y'all for your very hard work under these under the pressure that you are. I'm on the Board of Supervisors for Buckingham County. I'm the vice chairman, also proudly represent this region on the Virginia Tobacco Commission. So my comments are going to be sweet and short. I support what Kay Slaughter, Pat Cochran, Hickey, and Squire were saying as to the districts up in Albemarle County. In terms of map A7, the House of Delegates map, for District 79, you split Prince Edward County in about half, and I would caution against that. And I think that's part of the reason why you all were put together to be a nonpartisan and not gerrymander counties such as Prince Edward, which has a county that has been through a lot racially and historically and educationally in terms of the Brown v. Board case and the Moton School there. So please keep Prince Edward County as one. I would say that. Also, I would echo what some other commenters have said about the 5th congressional district. It's really screwed up, and I think that's all I need to say about that. And with regards to the Senate, I think it's the B4 Democratic map. despite what somebody said, I welcome Buckingham County to go north with those other counties. I absolutely love that. So those conclude my remarks, and I would finish by saying, make sure you finish right and on time, hopefully, and with one united map as one united commission. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Angela Lynn?
Not here, sir.
Pete Costigan?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, thank you.
Okay. My name is Pete Costigan, and I live in Ruckersville in Greene County. I'd like to comment as a private citizen briefly on Senate District Map A4 and B5, and not so briefly on House of Delegate Maps B6. Regarding Senate Maps A4 and B5, I support entirely the recommendation that will be made today by Greene County resident Mark Hanick. I also agree with many of the comments I've heard, but specifically with what Kay Slaughter said about Augusta County, and with what Bob West said about the need for competitive districts. The more, the better. So, regarding House of District Map B6, I'd like to propose that the northeast corner of Augusta County be swapped out of House of Delegates District 81 and replaced by Greene County. Since that northeast portion of Augusta County borders Rockingham County, I believe it makes more sense to attach that portion of Augusta to Rockingham County as part of House of Delegate District 69. Here are my 4 reasons for making that proposal. First, House of Delegate Map B6 currently includes all of Greene County, much of Rockingham County, and part of Page County in District 69. The bulk of the proposed district's land is in Rockingham and Page County, both of which are separated from Greene by the Blue Ridge Mountains. I object to this grouping for the same reasons that the Commission has heard many other residents of counties on both sides of the Blue Ridge object to being grouped with residents in counties on the mountain's opposite side. Greene County residents have more common interests with Albemarle County than they do with either Page or Rockingham. Specifically, Greene County residents regularly drive to Albemarle for shopping and medical care. In addition, every day, many Greene residents drive into Albemarle to their jobs at the National Ground Intelligence Center in northern Albemarle, to State Farm, and to various UVA facilities in Albemarle, among other employers. In fact, a significant percentage of Greene County's employed residents work in Albemarle. In contrast, relatively few drive the 30 to 35 miles west over the Blue Ridge to jobs in Rockingham and Page. Second, Greene County is a small county with about 55% of its 20,000 residents living in 2 of its 5 voting precincts. These 2 precincts, Ruckersville and Midway, are located mostly south, east, and west of the intersection of East-West Route 33 and north-south Route 29. Route 29, a major highway, reaches Albemarle border in less than 4 miles from this intersection. Third, Greene County, along with Albemarle, are among the counties served by the Thomas Jefferson Planning Commission.
Mr. Costigan, your time is up. I'll just ask you to wrap it up. I'll give you 10 seconds or so.
Okay. Through the Commission's legislative programs, the interests of the region's localities are represented before the state legislature and other policymakers. Much of this effort occurs at the General Assembly during the June-March session each year. Augusta County is not served by the Thomas Jefferson. It is served by a different planning district.
Thank you, Mr. Costigan. We appreciate your input, and I believe the person whose comments you wanted to echo is following you, so we can pick up hopefully where you left off. It's Mark, and I apologize if I mispronounced your last name. Heineke?
Yeah, thank you. That's very close. Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Mark Heineke. I'm a resident of Greene County. which is north of Albemarle County and contiguous with it. I deeply appreciate the strenuous efforts you are making to create fair electoral districts for the state of Virginia under considerable time pressure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I have previously submitted comments both by email and on Senate Districts Map B4 statewide and A5 statewide regarding the configuration of the new Senate District 31. I would like to argue for making Senate District 31 a composite of Albemarle, Fluvanna, Greene, and Nelson counties in the city of Charlottesville and not include Buckingham County. Neither the map B4 nor map A5 satisfy these conditions. In map B4, Nelson County is excluded, and in map A5, Greene County is excluded, while both maps include Buckingham County. The 5 entities that I propose for Senate District 31 all fall within the Thomas Jefferson Planning District Commission, whose purpose is, quote, to assist our local member governments, partners, and stakeholders with a variety of technical and program services, unquote. Buckingham County, however, is not in the Thomas Jefferson Planning District. The heart of District 31 consists of Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville, which together holds 70% of the Senate District target population. Albemarle has large rural tracts protected by zoning, but it has extensive suburban development centered on Charlottesville. Since there is no adjacent county similarly configured, balance rather than homogeneity should be sought among its neighbors within the same Senate district. Albemarle is flanked on the north by Greene County and on the southwest by Nelson County, both largely rural. I have lived in Greene County for 11 years and Nelson County for the previous 10 years. I believe both counties belong in any Senate district that has Albemarle at the heart of it on account of cultural, geographic, and demographic similarities. Those counties in the city of Charlottesville are traversed south to north by US Route 29, which connects them commercially and facilitates cultural and recreational exchange among them. US Route 29 does not touch Buckingham County. Speak of is 221,175, which is just 2.5% above the Senate district target. District 31 should include both Nelson and Greene counties, Charlottesville, and exclude Buckingham County. This is not accomplished by Senate maps B4 or A5. If position that the choice for the new Senate District 31 is between the A5 map that excludes Greene but includes Nelson, or the B4 map that includes Greene but not Nelson, then the B4 map with Greene County is the most logical. That's because of the commercial and suburban border in eastern Greene County, which creates a northern extension of like development in Albemarle to its south. The Greene County Comprehensive Plan restricts this kind of development to the Route 29 corridor in order to keep most of Greene rural. There's no similar continuity between Albemarle County and Nelson County. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this issue.
Thank you for your comments today. And next I see an Ethan, if that's Ethan Bliss. You're up next. We have Ethan Bliss.
He's here, sir.
Ethan Bliss, it looks like you're muted. If you're at your computer, can you unmute yourself? All right, we will move on then to Beatrice Amberman.
Not here, sir.
We have Sabina Weitzman.
Not here, sir.
That is through the list. I don't know if there's anyone. I just got an email from someone whose name I called.
Sir, Edward Strickler. I'm trying to resend him his link right now. If you could give me just a moment.
Great. So we'll hold on. And then I'm seeing Ethan. If you're hearing us, and we can hold on the line briefly to see if Mr. Strickler gets his link. Shay, do we have anyone else that you're sending that email on the line that we called and has come back on?
No.
Thank you.
Sir, did you call Monica Hutchinson? I see her on there.
I believe I did. Yeah, so it's Monica Hutchinson, if you're there.
I just promoted her to panelist.
Thank you. Hello, Ms. Hutchinson.
Yes,
Great, it's your turn to speak.
sorry, I was having all technical difficulties earlier.
No problem.
So you want me to go ahead and go?
Yes, please.
Sorry. So my name is Monica Hutchinson. I live in Henrico County, here in Central Virginia. And I wanted to call and just kind of reiterate, I know what other people have said, is that it is extremely important that we protect Black voters and voters of color when it's time to draw these maps. Virginia has been leading the way when it comes to having fair and proper elections. And so at the end of the day, we don't have to really worry. That shouldn't be a concern. My main concern is ensuring that when it comes to Black voters and voters of color, that people understand is not just about the elected official, but it's ensuring that Black voters, voters of color, that our voices are being heard by all of our elected officials. No matter what district we're in, no matter who our elected official is, that is extremely important that our collective voice is being heard across the board. And so, at the end of the day, that is what I and others really need to have happen, is to protect the Black community and communities of color when it comes to drawing these maps. We know that historically, that has not been done when we didn't have protections in place. And, when Supreme Court gutted pre-clearance, just really hurt. Like, that was put in place for a reason. And so at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that I am just reiterating what I know others have said, is that, let me say it again, that Black voters and voters of color must be protected during this process, and not just this process, but ongoing. So, thank you.
Thank you for your comments and for lifting up that point. Looks like we have Ed on the line now. Do you have your link? You can unmute yourself.
Black voters and voters of color must be protected.
Who are you speaking with? I'm sorry.
And not just this.
Hi, Mr. Strickler, this is Sean Kumar on the Redistricting Commission. It is your turn for public comment. Thank you for your comment.
Yes, I'm able to speak briefly. I'm getting feedback. Can you hear me clearly without feedback?
I can't hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I live in Farmville.
Who are you speaking with? I'm sorry.
I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. I can hear something in your background, but, and it looks like, Shay, we have one other person who's muted, Teresa Willett.
Can you hear me clearly without feedback? I'll try
No, sir,
to get
she's
this
our
done,
interpreter.
but I'm hearing feedback. I live in Farmville. I am a rural resident for a lifetime in Virginia. That began in Rockingham County with a rural working class family. I speak up for.
And it looks like, Shay, we have one other person. Teresa Willett.
Go on to the next person. I'll try to see what's happening.
Okay.
Mr. Kumar, the last person is Ethan. He's still showing.
Okay.
Mr. Kumar, I attempted to reach Mr. Bliss by phone and was not successful, and I sent him an email to ask him to unmute. So that's the status of things there. I haven't gotten a response yet.
Great, thank you for those efforts to reach him. So Shay, if that's the case, it sounds like Edward Strickler is our last comment. Who's here?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I don't know if we have any audio advice. Mr. Strickler, if you've got some sort of source, maybe if you've got.
Mr. Kumar.
Sure.
Yes,
Yep.
I believe if Mr. Strickler if he turns his sound off, then he's hearing the sound through his computer. So if there's a way to turn his sound off, that might be less distracting for him.
I turned my sound off. Thank you. Ready? Thank you. So I want to speak up for rural folks. That's where I've lived for a long lifetime in Virginia, in different parts of Virginia, including Rockingham County, rural Albemarle County, and presently in Prince Edward County. I have joined many state, local, and regional advisory bodies to raise the needs, concerns, and voices of rural persons, especially communities that are disadvantaged, disenfranchised. My issues are public health. I'm retired from the School of Medicine at the University of Virginia, and I'm past chair of the ethics section of the American Public Health Association. Ethics is my key concern here, and equity. By equity, I mean the fair sharing of benefits and burdens. Rural areas and Virginians have often, structurally by law, policy, and politics, received the short end of the stick, to say the least. They've received a lot of burdens and fewer benefits than other areas of Virginia. Political machinations over many decades have kept this up. It burdens rural people, particularly working class people, and particularly rural working class people of color. Brown and Black people and multiracial people live all across rural Virginia. When we want to protect minority voters, brown voters, Black voters, multiracial voters, we have to ensure equity for rural communities. That is the short and sweet of what I say. I'll send a longer email that will have more detail. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and for your comments. Right, do we have anyone else that's come on the net, Shay?
Voters, Black voters, multiracial voters. We have to ensure equity.
No, sir.
Rural communities.
Right. All right, well, that concludes this hearing. Thank you to all the citizens who provided comments. Thank you to staff, first and foremost, for helping to make this happen. Thanks to our interpreters, and thanks to the fellow commissioners. Everyone have a great evening.
Thanks, John.